On a random Tuesday evening, Saban, a young Muslim woman, was sitting on her sofa when an absolutely insane 2 minutes happened. She had just returned from mosque and was a woman who followed her religion deeply, claiming to have never sinned since becoming serious about it. Regardless of her good deeds towards Allah, though, she somehow still managed to be haunted. Have a watch.
Ik ben dus helemaal alleen. Oh, dat ding. Oké, ik ga hier weg. Oh, er gebeurt allemaal te veel in mijn huis.
All sorts of objects started to move around in the room, but the main one was her lucky goblet. Saban only allowed herself to drink from the goblet when she knew she was about to do something dangerous in order to grant herself an advantage. The fact that the ghost tampered with this was very concerning for her. After ending the video, she prayed to Allah for protection, to which it was granted, and she never experienced anything of this sort. Could it have been a test, or was this some sort of demon genuinely attempting to torment her? I guess we, or she, will never know the answer for sure. Now, we have looked into the life of Arash Afnan before, and he is an Indian man who decided to create a TikTok account to document his paranormal findings. He first encountered something from the paranormal world a few years back, when some doors started to open and close by themselves, and since then, it has only gone downhill. I guess he has amassed a decent social media following from it though, so he can hardly complain. The video that you are about to see from him took place 7 months ago and was filmed in the perspective of Arash's son, Raj. Raj was made fun of at school for being very feminine, mainly because of his ownership of a pink teddy which he was attached to a lot, so much that he would have a tantrum after losing it. One day, this day came. Raj lost his pink teddy, and once he figured this out, he tried to find it.
Bising. Nak tidur pun tak boleh. Hantu punya setan. Maning kau sorok? Kau lapar nasi ke setan? Bisinglah lagi. Ada 2 setan. Duduk diamlah. Apa lagi ni?
When he realized his teddy was missing, things around the house started to shake vigorously, as if the spirit was trying its hardest to freak the poor kid out, and it succeeded. The kid, after getting over the shaking, looked under the sink and found his teddy before closing the cupboard and getting ready to confront his father as to why it was there. However, when he opened it again, the teddy had vanished. Off camera, the duo searched the entire house for the teddy without success until Arash checked the under-sink cabinet again, where he actually found the teddy. After what happened next though, this was not considered a victory. Strangely, Raj took the teddy and slowly walked into the dining room before sitting down and holding the teddy tightly. This was super odd behavior from the child according to Arash, because he was a very bubbly person, and when he was mad, he definitely expressed it. Arash spoke to Raj for a solid 5 minutes, trying to figure out what was wrong with him, and he barely blinked. It took that whole time before Raj snapped out of this trance, and claimed that he had no clue what went on. He had been possessed. Chris and Mick were and still are a duo who take pride in their excellent chemistry. When together, they can make the moodiest person on the planet laugh, and they even managed to maintain that brilliant feeling when they experienced some spiritual activities on camera. One of their most requested videos was to visit a church stealth camp, which was supposedly haunted despite nobody knowing the reason why. With their bravery and values to provide top-tier content, they decided to visit the church, and what happened was weird.
Go on then, Mick. Now you don't fall over, son. I thought you were going to say it was locked there with a shitty pants. I'd have had skidamiddies all over me unibidundies. There we go, folks. Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm not scared, and I'm not one of these people that get to shiver up the spine at things like this. To me, it's not spooky, but we'll still have a look around. For you legends that like to watch The Blot Outdoor Show. Alright, isn't it? Cool. Cool place. I wouldn't want to sit here all night, like, but like I say, guys, been abandoned since the 1970s. Obviously, they must leave the door open now and again. The fuck? The fuck's it? I'm out of here. Sorry, guys. What the fuck was that? Oh, I think Mick's filled his pants. I get skidamiddies on my dundies. I think Mick's got a lug of a jugger in his only padandies.
You've got a hole in them, like, hole. Nice big hole.
That's the fastest I've ever seen you run. It was probably, do you know what it probably was? It was just like, it's open, you've probably got like birds getting in and something's being knocked off or something. I don't know. That's what I'm telling myself, guys. But yeah, like I said, things like that don't normally scare me. But when you hear a bang somewhere like that, and I've been reading about how spooky the place is supposed to be, but I've convinced Mick to have one more look inside this so-called haunted church. Go on then, Schmick.
Nah, you ain't got closer.
Well then. Oh well, I'll go on first. Right, Mick, you follow me. I think the first time we came in, I think we just let our imaginations run away with ourselves, which is easy when you're in the pitch black and you're having a few beers. Just leave that door open, Mick. I've got to be honest, it does have a little bit of a spooky kind of feel to it. I think that's because what we've been reading, and it's genuine, it has been abandoned since the 1970s. By abandoned, I mean it doesn't get used anymore for like services or burials or anything like that. But yeah, now that we've came in and we've studied for a few seconds, I think kind of chilled now. Are you chilled out, Mick? Yeah. However, let's have a mooch around. I said to Mick, we'll have one more look in here and then later on we'll do the room review. Little Mick says, well, we'll have a look around, but we'll do the room review back over there. I've kind of had to persuade him to come back in. I mean, I can see why people come here, Mick, and do the old spooky, ghostly tours and look for the paranormal readings and stuff like that. It's not my kind of thing. My kind of thing is sitting in a tent and getting mangled, spangled, and totally grim crankled. But each to their own, wherever your hobby is. Let's have a look over here, Schmick. Oh, here we go. We've got a photograph of young Chris here. Oh, sorry guys. It's not young Chris. Apologies. It's Jesus Christ. Our the son.
Milky buttons there.
Yeah, milky buttons. What? What the What? Mix away. Ooh, shut that door. What the?
The duo were the only two people in the church, and the fact they managed to make a situation of that seriousness funny was very respectable. Nothing in the church fell, but one of the big doors slammed shut, and do note that it was not a windy night. In Puerto Rico, there was once a hotel which was called the DuPont Plaza, and it operated in the 1980s. In 1986, the hotel caught fire, and this was no mild flame. It was a huge one, which unfortunately ended a lot of lives, and the blame was pinned onto 3 employees. Despite the people inside the building being cooked, the building itself was surprisingly still standing, and in between, then and now, has been sold onto new owners several times. Its current state is the Marriott Stellaris, still operating as a hotel, but after the following clip emerged, I doubt they will pull many customers. It was captured using a security camera at 3 a.m. and showcased a guard of the hotel walking around one of the least wandered areas of the hotel. She expected this to be a normal stroll, as she was unaware of the hotel's horrible past. Little did she know that she was in for a real treat. She claimed that someone or something tugged at her hair, and by instinct, she assumed that it was one of her co-workers messing around with her, as banter was huge with the staff. After watching the video back, though, she found out that this was not in fact the case. In the upcoming clip, the woman of the family was walking around the house and keeping her baby tight for good reason. You see, she was performing a sage, a method which is supposed to banish evil spirits from somebody's home. She had walked around the entire house and saw no sign of the entity's presence. However, once she reached the kitchen, things managed to take a turn for the worst.
Leave us alone, once and for all. Leave this house. We're sick of you messing with us. Sick of you messing with us.
Whilst the woman and the baby were in the room, the trash can fell over, and just as she was leaving, some sort of basket followed. None of these collapses were nearly as shocking as what happened when they complete their exit from the room though. Immediately, all sorts of objects started to act up, and the spirit was making its distaste towards the saging very clear. This is the only piece of footage we received, so the rest of the lore is unknown. We do advise you to send all of your luck over to this family though, especially considering the fact that they have a baby. Gamers can be known to make some of the cringiest jokes in history, and that is not a targeted attack. I am a gamer too. Sometimes the moment for a joke of that nature is more than suitable. On the other hand, there are times where they do way more harm than good. The Asian man in the video that I am about to show you decided to refer to a spirit that he was searching for as an NPC, which for you non-gamers refers to a non-playable character. It became clear fast that the spirit did not like this reference, as it took it upon itself to give the man a reaction.
有人吗？里边？还没吸啊？我的老板。哎呦我操你妈！哎呦我操你妈！出来！出来！出来来！出来！是谁？谁？谁？
From the bottom of the curtain, we could see that there was movement on the other side, and like any normal person, the man behind the camera wanted to look behind it and gave in to his urges. He seemingly chased whatever was behind the curtain for a good minute before giving up and realizing that he was chasing nothingness. Just to clarify, when I say giving up, I mean he stopped chasing. He did not stop exploring the property, and this decision is what led him to the next clip. He came across the bathroom and gave it a thorough search. The most vital conclusion from this search was that nothing else was in the room with him. After his search, he explained that his worst fear at that moment was the mirror, and his fear was proven valid just a moment later.
有人吗？我操你妈呀！这写什么字儿？ 最怕的是惊人。啊！操你！ 去你妈的！哎，我操你妈！我操你妈，脚丫子！
If you look at the gap at the bottom of the door for the bathroom stall, a pair of legs could be seen standing there, and as I previously mentioned, the room was clear. This was a horrifying apparition, but nowhere near as terrifying as the one in the next clip. On April 12th of 2024, a man and his dog were going on a beautiful walk through the park during the peak of spring. The owner of the dog, Rob, explained that the pet loved walks especially during that time of the year because of how perfect the conditions were for walking. Not too warm, yet not too cold, as I said, perfect. The park added onto the conditions as it was a gorgeous view for the duo to look out onto, and no matter what season it was, they always paused for a few minutes at the same exact checkpoint. Over all of their years walking together though, they never witnessed anything quite as alarming as this. What was usually a peaceful checkpoint became a spooky one when Rob and his dog spotted some sort of spirit apparition floating above the lake. At first, Rob did not see this spirit and wondered why his dog felt so uncomfortable at such a familiar location. After reviewing his video out of concern though, he found out exactly what caused it and uploaded it to YouTube for people like us to see. Now I know that a lot of people struggle to believe the clips that I showcase simply because they do not trust me. However, this next piece of footage came from Channel 5. Channel 5 is a reliable British broadcast, and one of its most popular shows involves police adventures, where we can see what the jobs of law enforcement are really like. Most episodes include high-action, thrilling chases where criminals are speeding away from the police at 100 miles per hour. The one that you are about to see was much different, and I am going to show you why. Take a look.
The runaway carves across the carriageway.
Stand by, it's going off.
And calls it a day.
Get out.
You're nicked. Or you should be.
Where is he?
There's no one outside, no one behind the wheel, and the van is locked.
Where's he gone?
It's magic.
In the back. In the back? He stopped to think he's hiding in the back. There's no one in the driver or passenger seat, and no one's decam that we can see. We need to get in, mate. Yeah, mate, I'm going to smash window in a sec.
The best knock-knock jokes have smashing punchlines. But the joke's on Dan and Rob.
No.
Hey?
No. No one jumped out?
It's a classic locked van mystery.
Weird.
There's just one explanation.
Must have decamped. You know, the woodland track?
The only logical solution to this scenario was, as the policeman said, the driver must have decamped. A decamp is when someone secretly and suddenly exits a location and is typically used in police vocabulary. The officers ordered a search of the entire vicinity, but nobody was hiding and no one matched the description that they had of the man. As well as this, the camera was on the van for the majority of the tape, so the driver must have left in under a second, which is definitely not possible. This is a mystery that will not be solved, and all we can do is ponder. I am joking. It was most certainly the act of a ghost. The following video came from the CCTV footage captured in a hotel and was noticed by Paul, a security officer at the facility. This hotel was unlike most others and was specifically designed to cater for elderly, near-death residents who needed a place to stay for a cheap cost closer to their relatives. Outside of the hotel is a graveyard where family members of loved ones who passed away in the hotel could optionally bury them. It was this place that caused the haunting you are about to witness.
Oh, and it says they hang out and dwell around graveyards. And you know the story on that, right? When Mike hired those two native spiritual people to come here and do their stuff, they said it's not the hotel that's haunted, it's the graveyard. Oh. So this service road here where Danny and I used to park, that's the old Stony Plain Road. Do you really think they, when they dug up all the bodies here, that was a good one, moved them over to the graveyard?
They dug up the bodies and what?
Before this hotel.
It doesn't take a zoom in to see the spirit gliding across the corridors by the chairs, acting as a perfect example for what Paul was talking about. Over the past few months, the hotel had been bringing in native men who claimed to be able to cleanse places of spirits, and the staff weren't told why this was. It was at this moment that they managed to piece 2 and 2 together. However, this could have still been a one-off situation where the security camera bugged out or something of the sort. Paul was going to need more evidence if he was to convince the outside world. It was only a matter of time before he obtained this.
See him?
Yeah. I saw it.
They have it there, buddy? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Noel. Yes, sir. What's up?
Oh yeah, I see it again.
Yeah, let's try and sit in the chair. Sometimes he'll stay there for a minute.
He is. How do you know this?
Well, because Danny and I caught him earlier when Danny was in the games room locking up. I freaked the fuck out because I saw it. And then I tried to do a video review to record it, and it wouldn't let me.
Why is it still there?
Well, because if you read about it, they get caught in a vortex. And they linger around for...
Strangely, the ghost sat back down on the chair before the smoke vanished once again. Very weird. Paul visited his boss after capturing the incident and let him know about it. But unsurprisingly, he wasn't surprised. He revealed that the native men were in fact there to rid a ghost from his property, and he had seen it several times at night. On a Sunday evening sometime last year, a man called Jorge was home all by himself when he decided to record a video to his small fan base. He had wanted to be a full-time influencer for years now, but never made any real progress. He would wake up, go to his job at the local store, come home and make videos, but he just couldn't do it anymore. For roughly 2 weeks, he started planning a short script to read out to his fans, to let them know that it was officially the end of his content creation journey, but clearly someone or something wanted him to stay.
So, I am a little exhausted, but I have been doing things back and forth. I have not been having any rest. I've been up and down. So I've been taking care of things around the house, and yeah, I've been. Guys, this is not something that I'm fucking making up. You fucking see this shit? There's literally nobody in here, guys. Literally nobody. You gotta be fucking with me, huh? It's fucking ridiculous. This is fucking insane. Oh, fuck.
Somehow, items in the kitchen started moving by themselves, and Jorge was taken very aback by this. He quickly walked out of the room and sat in the living room contemplating what happened until eventually he concluded his thoughts. It was a sign for him to continue pursuing content creation. Ever since Jorge convinced himself that this is what that was, he hasn't missed an upload since. In a previous video on the channel, we've looked at footage captured by Roland With Me, a YouTuber known for going out of his way to catch spirits in their acts. In this 2-hour-long video, he and his friend Omar decided it would be fun to visit some of the scariest places in America, and every single one of them was haunted. During their journey, they caught several crazy pieces of content and compiled all of the clips into a montage. We're going to take a look at 3 of the most prominent. This first one took place in the living room of the haunted house at around 11 p.m. It's important to note that the clock had been there for over 10 years and was broken, which is the reason for the time being incorrect.
If there is a spirit here that is shaking this clock, let me know. And why are you messing with my clock? Let me know that you are here. Show me some kind of sign. Do something. Did you just make the clock move? Alright, Alright, what was that? Alright, that clock just literally moved. Did you just make the clock move? Show me a sign. Do something. Holy f***. Alright, that time, holy sh**.
Not only did the clock vibrate while suspended on the wall, its hands also spun around very quickly, which made no sense considering the batteries were out. This was nothing compared to some of the other phenomena Roland was going to experience though, and it only got worse from there. After exploring the living room, Roland decided to go to the entrance of the building and investigate if that area of the house was at all active. His friend Omar claimed that it was the easiest part of the building to walk through and that they wouldn't find anything there. However, this statement was proven wrong very fast.
What in the hell? I know that was not just open. That was shut. Something in here. Came from in here somewhere.
Strangely, Roland started to hear several noises coming from the kitchen, despite his friend being the only person on this mission with him, being right by his side. With such a high rate of activity in that house, the duo left it very quickly because they managed to obtain enough content for their video at a rapid rate. The next place they visited is the last that anyone would have expected though, Roland's house. If you've watched some other videos of mine in the past, you'd know that Roland's house is extremely haunted, and it does make sense. From the sheer amount of haunted locations he has visited, it's bound for a few of the spirits he encountered to follow him home. The specific clip you're about to see was caught on a camera and took place 4 minutes after Roland and Omar arrived. This spirit must have loved the lavish lifestyle because it was turning the sports car on and off fast. Due to the horror movie scene, grandfather-style clocks are often connected with ghosts and evil, no matter the size. The clock in the clip you're about to see was in this style, and although it may have looked tiny, the fear it could instill into someone was massive. This is about to be proved. The video was recorded in Germany by Jürgen. He had a regular life, working a 9 to 5 and enjoying his evenings with his mates. However, what was about to happen in front of his very own eyes took the regular out of that sentence.
Ich schwöre euch bei Gott, diese Tür von dieser Uhr, ne, die ist eben einfach aufgegangen. Ich wollte mich gerade schlafen legen, auf einmal ist die aufgegangen. Die ganzen Tage ist die nicht aufgegangen und jetzt gerade hat die sich einfach geöffnet, Digga. Bro, ich kack mir in die Hose fast. Wenn hier irgendwas in diesem Raum ist, dann macht diese Tür auf. Wenn hier irgendein Geist oder so drin ist und du mich hören kannst, dann mach diese Tür auf. Ich schwöre bei Gott, ich schwöre auf meine Mutter, hier ist keine Schnur oder so, nicht, dass ihr denkt, ich verarsche euch, Bruder. Guck mal. Guck mal. Hier ist keine Schnur, nix, ich schwöre auf meine Mutter. Gar nichts. Ich hab Gänsehaut, Gänsehaut, Bruder, Gänsehaut am ganzen Körper, Gänsehaut, Gänsehaut am ganzen Körper. Ich schwöre, meine Mutter, guck, oh mein Gott, oh mein Gott, oh mein Gott.
Now, it doesn't take a German speaker to understand what was going on in this video. Despite being sealed, the clock door opened on its own accord, and Jürgen was very fortunate to have filmed the event take place. If he hadn't, then no one would have believed his story, and the clock would still be on the wall to this day. In reality, his girlfriend allowed him to trash it. You may be wondering why this fully grown woman is lying on her bed looking terrified whilst recording her verdict. Don't worry, you'll get your answer. She is called Celeste and recently moved out from her parents into her own rented home. It was a small place, perfect for Celeste, especially since it was local and in case of an emergency, her father or mother could come and help out. When they offered this help, they assumed nothing would happen and they just said it to be nice. Little did they know that just 2 weeks after Celeste moved into the house, an emergency would come, especially one that they couldn't handle. The house had no paranormal background and had great reviews from everyone who called it home. The landlord was extremely proud of it and kept it well. He wasn't a priest though. Of course, a spirit sneaked its way in.
Plebes, no me lo van a creer, pero otra vez son... La neta me estoy muriendo de miedo. Sí, me ven la cara así, pero neta me estoy muriendo de miedo. Es la 1:33, otra vez. De la madrugada. Y se escuchan otra vez cosas. Pero no lo grabé, pues no. O sea, tampoco voy a estar grabando de que no mames. Pero no lo grabé. Pero otra vez se escuchan cosas. Pero la neta, no mames, no sé qué voy a hacer. Ahorita. No. No mames, no sé qué hacer ya, no sé qué hacer. O sea, literal se escuchó donde abrieron una puerta. Le tengo que poner seguro a la puerta de esto. Se lo juro que estoy temblando. No me lo van a creer. Estoy temblando. En las piernas estoy... No mames. ¿Qué pido? Yo creo que... Ay, no. Pero ya me da miedo ir a grabar, la verdad. Pero estoy acostada aquí. Literal no hay nadie. No sé qué voy a hacer. Me da miedo ir a ver.
For some peculiar reason, Celeste could hear a series of sounds coming from inside, and this obviously freaked her out. She immediately assumed that a burglar had found their way inside the four walls, but fortunately, this wasn't the case. The real scenario was arguably on the same level of severity, though. How did she find out what the real scenario was, you may be wondering? Well, she decided that the best option from here was to search the house with no weapon.
Me da miedo. Puta madre. Ni modo. No mames. Eso no estaba tirado ahorita. El cereal se supone que estaba ahí arriba. No mames, la neta, no mames. No, vete a la verga. Please, en serio.
Despite the box of food being placed on the fridge once she arrived home, Celeste walked into the room to find it on the floor. This wasn't the bad thing, though. There was absolutely no trace of a break-in, meaning that whatever did this was still there. Definitely a ghost. Instantly after finding out that her first house was haunted, Celeste called her parents to pick her up and sent a letter to the landlord explaining she was leaving. She had to pay a decent fee for exiting the house with such a short notice, but in her eyes, it was more than worth the cost. On July 21st of 2024 in Spain, Juan was chilling out in his bedroom when he was taken by surprise by a series of events he would never forget. He explained after this incident that he would never go to sleep without a nightlight ever again, and the darkness now scares him. He gets called childish.
Mi gente, miren, me encuentro en mi casa, miren que no hay absolutamente nada, y me encuentro como medio raro, no sé qué es lo que está pasando, pero en verdad, no sé qué es lo que está pasando, mi gente, en mi casa hoy. Miren, señores, miren, me siento como que no sé, como que hay algo raro en mi habitación hoy. Por favor, necesito que me ayuden. Hoy siento esto. Miren, estoy solo en mi casa. Papá Dios. Y siento como que se mueve toda la cosa. Oh, Dios mío, se apagó la luz. Necesito a alguien que me ayude. Oh, Dios mío. Señores, ¿quién está viendo esto? Por favor, compártanlo. Miren, estoy solo en mi habitación, pero siento como no sé, como que se caen las cosas. Oh, papá Dios. Señores, miren. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder, señores. Recuerden que me encuentro aquí en mi casa, mi gente, en el cementerio Cristo Redentor.
In fairness, I don't know anybody who wouldn't be in fear of the dark after experiencing such a horrible 5 minutes. Once the saga was over, Juan made sure to pick up every single item that moved and load them into a skip that he hired for a week. He then paid some people to take the skip to the local tip and have every last piece of it burned. In total, there was around 900's worth of clothes put into the skip, but Juan didn't care. That type of money was more than enough to get a ghost out of his life. Setting up cameras in the room of your child is a very popular thing to do nationwide, as parents are in the constant struggle to make sure their children are safe. Most of the time, the craziest thing they catch on these cameras is a baby trying to escape their crib, but sometimes things can get much worse. Meet the Hursts, a young family with one child to their name called Layla. The two parents cared for Layla extremely well and wouldn't wish anything negative to come her way, but clearly a certain spirit disagreed.
What's the matter?
I just want to sleep with you now.
God, what? What's the matter?
Now at first, it was very difficult to see what the problem was here, and it was presumably just a nightmare. However, once the father of the family decided to spend hours scanning the footage to try and find out what upset his little girl, he found the face of a woman right next to the wardrobe. Extremely spooky. This figure could have very easily been crafted by shadows, though as we all know that when people are paranoid, their imagination can run wild. This time that wasn't the case though. For those of you with no idea what orbs are, they are small particles similar to dust that orbit a ghost. In short, if orbs are seen somewhere, then a spirit was in that room. From that night forward, Layla only slept with her parents, and this still stands to date. On December 30th of 2023, a terrifying night happened for a newfound couple. This couple had been dating for just 6 months when they decided they wanted a baby, and 9 months later led to the upcoming recording. One night they heard their baby making noises, as if it was uncomfortable, and the wife prompted the husband to check their baby cam. They were very fortunate to have done so, because if they didn't come to check up on the baby soon enough, things could have gotten much worse. Take a look. That is one of the most disturbing videos on this channel due to how young the victim actually was. The spirit didn't even have the decency to be gentle. It completely tugged the poor boy. Now it's unusual that we tell a story in unchronological order on this channel, but in order to get true context for the baby video, we'd need to review a clip uploaded by the same family 8 days prior. Have a watch. Unsettling noises could be heard in the baby's room, and the parents just nudged it off as the construction workers next door caused a commotion. If only they acted sooner, maybe the first clip would never have happened. On January the 17th of 2008, Kaiden, a young adult at the time, had recently started renting a new house for him, his girlfriend and their 3 pets. The house had no unusual backstory or anything that would really deter a family from moving in. However, reputations can easily come to an end. It was night 4 in the house at around 6 p.m. when the most peculiar evening of Kaiden's life would occur, and things got terrifying, very terrifying.
Phoebe. Hey. Phoebe. Where are you, girl? Phoebe. Phoebe. Hey, what's the matter, girl? Come here. What's the matter? Are you okay? Come here. Come on up. Phoebe, come on. Hey. What's the matter? Hey, come here. Come on. It's okay. What's the matter, girl? Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on up. Want a treat? Come on. Come here, peeps. Want a treat? Phoebe, what's the matter, girl? What's the matter? You okay? What do you hear? What is it? What is it, girl? Come here. Phoebe, come here. You okay, girl? What's the matter? What's the matter, honey? Do you hear something? Phoebe? Honey? Are you okay? What the hell was that? What is that?
After hearing banging noises from up in the attic, Kaiden decided that he had to go and check what was up there in case of an intrusion. Since the pets were acting strange, it was likely that they could smell or hear someone that he couldn't, and so Kaiden wisely took the signs.
What? What the hell? There's definitely something up here. What?
Strangely, once Kaiden entered the attic, it was completely trashed, and he was devastated as a mess that big would not be easy to clean up. However, at the time, he was pleased that he found nothing up there, but still suspicious. It was when items started moving in front of his very own eyes that things started to become extraordinarily freaky. It's important to note that the light switch for the attic is inside it, so when they turned off, it was impossible for Kaiden to have done so. Something was up there, but he'll never know what. In the following video, a single man called Toby was getting ready to go to sleep when he supposedly noticed something looking at him through the window. Accompanying this sighting was the sound of a lady crying, which disturbed Toby for obvious reasons, and it definitely showed with his reaction.
Okay, look, I'm really tripping out now. Something was looking at me through the window, and I heard that lady crying again, coming out of the kitchen. I'm freaking the fuck out. I am fucking tripping. Really creeping me out. I ain't going by the basement door, fuck that. Fuck that. There's something in this house. There's something in here. I'm telling you. Oh, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no.
Now, in usual paranormal situations, the ghost would do something harmless but spooky, like move a chair to the side. However, in this crazy scenario, a knife was thrown at Toby, which could have caused some serious damage had it connected. Ghost experts theorized that the spirit wasn't trying to harm Toby, but just scare him. This explains why it delayed until he stepped back from the kitchen to launch such a dangerous item. Regardless, this is one of the most dangerous ghost sightings witnessed, and I doubt anyone anyone would want to switch situations with this man, especially considering that this was only the beginning. After a long night struggling to sleep after the knife situation, Toby considered attempting communication with the ghost and eventually came to the conclusion that he would. He took out his TikTok camera and went downstairs to the living room, and then the moment of truth happened.
Monday, I think it's like the 5th or something, and about 6:30 in the morning. A little handle over there off my grinder come across the floor. It's my little pipe, my little billy club I keep around. They come rolling across the floor this morning. Been pretty quiet lately. I thought I heard voices earlier, but I wasn't sure. It's been pretty quiet for real till now, until a few minutes ago. And we'll see, I guess. Are you here this morning? What do you want? Can you talk to me? Let me know you're here. Okay, so you are here. What do you want? I'm not scared of you. Show yourself. Show yourself to me. I want to see who you are. No, I want to see who you are. Leave me alone. If you can't show me who you are, I want you to leave my house. Show me your face. Show me your face or leave my house. I demand it. No, go. Show me who you are or leave my house. I'm not afraid of you. What do you need? What do you want? Why do you keep bothering me? Are you still here? Hello? I'm not here to harm you, and I do not want you to harm me. Just tell me what you want. Who are you? Do you want me to leave this house? Is this your house? Do you want me to leave? Do you want me out of your house? No, because this is my house. I want you out of my house. If you can't show yourself, I want you to leave.
At first, the ghost cooperated with Toby and continuously moved a metal pole across the room to let him know it was listening. However, after some time, it clearly got bored and stopped entertaining his curiosity. The only sign of the spirit still being present in the later section of the video was when a small shadow appeared in the corner of the room. It's highly possible that something else cast this, but in the event that it was the ghost showing itself, Toby was in for a long day. Towards the end of the video, he claimed that he would upload more content of the sort and try to keep his followers updated on the experience. To our dismay though, he never updated anyone again, and no one knows why. Now, the next paranormal occurrence showcased on this video is actually the follow-up to a video that we've already covered on the channel. In that video, I explained how he searched 20 minutes for the cause of the knocking at his door, and this is the footage of him doing so.
Oh my god.
Weirdly, he found nothing lying around in the forest, despite the knocking being really loud and in a linear pattern. No animal is capable of doing this, so it's very odd that no person was discovered. As well as this, once the man arrived back at the house, his bedroom light was on all of a sudden, and a shadowed figure was standing behind the blinds. Quickly, he ran inside to confirm that there was an intruder, but to his dismay, nothing. This is when Sam really started to become convinced that a ghost was on his property. However, he was an evidence kind of guy, and without any, he couldn't be too sure. With time came his wish, though. A few days after the prior incident, Sam was watching television with his cat when the power completely cut out. He lived in a relatively rural area, and this kind of stuff was normal, so nothing was out of the ordinary though, until he realized the rest of his area still had their lights on. With this knowledge, he needed to investigate the power box, and things got creepy fast.
I just lost power in my house. I looked down the road and I saw lights on, so I think it's just me. I'm gonna go down to the breaker box and see what's up. You stay here, I'm gonna go get the power back on, okay? power company. These were closed. These were 100% closed. I never leave these open. If there's someone or something here, I want you to prove it to me. I want you to close one of these doors. Come on! Well, if I'm being honest, I'm glad nothing happened. Holy shit!
Once Sam decided to go upstairs and phone up the power company, loud banging noises started happening downstairs, and he assumed it was the cat. He quickly ran down the stairs to the source of the noises to find both the washing machine and the dishwasher flung open. This had no explanation. It was a ghost, and he knew it. Immediately, he beckoned the spirit to do it again and got excited too soon when it didn't at first. However, milliseconds after his victory call, the machine's door closed on its own accord. The following family had only been living in their house for 8 months and had never experienced anything supernatural in their life. They were all religious and had God on their side, which left them strong in the sense of not getting haunted. Despite this power though, on a random Tuesday, things got quite weird.
Dude, you hear that, right? Yeah. Alright guys, I have to start recording. We just moved in here last summer, and we keep hearing these things. Oh. Dude, you hear that, right? Yeah. Don't tell me it's just me. That's ridiculous, man. I don't know.
During a match of Street Fighter against his girlfriend Kayla, he started to hear aggressive banging noises coming from the kitchen and got fed up, so went to check. Once he arrived into the kitchen, he scanned the room and found nothing before checking the garden, but this is when the paranormal activity was confirmed. Suddenly, another bang rang around the house, and with a fast reaction, the cameraman turned back into the kitchen to find 2 cabinets open. It's clearly caught on camera as he walks towards the garden that the cabinets were closed beforehand, which leaves little explanation as to why this happened. Feel free to try and solve it in the comments. Unless you put a ghost though, you're incorrect, because this wasn't the only clip that the man captured in the house. Just a few hours after halting the previous recording, the strange noises returned, and after some investigating, an apparition was caught.
Alright, I have to start recording again. I know I just heard something. You guys are seeing this, right? Gotta be joking me. What? You gotta be joking me. Oh, jeez.
Living in the house with the cameraman were 4 other people, so it was possible that the person behind the door was one of the children. However, it's extremely unlikely that the kid was fast enough to get away from the door as quickly as the apparition did, leaving no other explanations barring the supernatural. On October 16th of 2023, a father of one daughter heard crying from her room, so he decided to go and check on her. After searching the room, he found that there was nothing to be scared of and told his daughter it was probably a fly before going to bed. When he woke up the next morning though, he decided to check the cameras just to be safe in case something truly did happen. And beyond his craziest beliefs, something did. The lights in the girl's closet started flashing rapidly to the point that they managed to wake her up. We can see her climb from the bed to go and investigate the room, but the footage cuts before anything happens. The father claims that nothing happened from that point onwards, at least during that specific night. Over the next few weeks, he would closely monitor the cameras of the girls' rooms and relocate them every time something suspicious was caught. The following clip shows one of those instances. If listened to closely, a small knock could be heard, and after contacting experts, the family discovered that it came from underneath the girl's bed. It was at this moment that the family considered this spirit a threat, and eventually they would leave for good. It's unknown whether or not this move was successful. In the following video, a young woman called Leona was cleaning her daughter's bedroom when something unexplainable happened out of nowhere. She was really angry at her daughter for not cleaning the room, but decided to give some leniency and do it for her. I bet she was very happy that she chose this decision because she had one of the most positive ghost experiences documented on this channel. Take a look.
Got you all in a tizzy? What happened, sir? Can you do it again? Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, we're reversing too. Wow. You made sure to go past the cat in reverse. Dang. Hey. Oh, we're still going? I put it there. You don't like that, huh? Because the cat's in your way? Uh-huh. Oh, you go push it out of the way? Are you gonna push it out of the way? Go ahead. Go ahead, push it. You push it out of the way? Oh my God! You freaking did that shit! Oh my God! That was crazy, bro. Oh my God. Again? Are you gonna push the kitty cat out of the way? You need it. Are you gonna push it out of the way again? Oh, you're moving the cat out of the way by moving the cat? Oh my God, you're so smart. Which one are you gonna move? Are you gonna push it out of the way again with the car? Or are you gonna move the cat? Oh my God, look at you. You moved it back. Oh my God. You're so smart. Are you gonna move it? Are you gonna push it out of the way? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna move the cat out of the way by moving the whole cat, or are you gonna push it out of the way? You might have to. Oh my God, you smart person, you.
Strangely, both of the objects started moving by themselves, and none of them are battery-powered in any way. The sole purpose of the Hello Kitty object was to decorate, and the skateboard one was to play, so it made no sense as to why they had a life of their own. Regardless, Leona rather enjoyed the experience and wasn't fazed in the slightest. A middle-aged man was getting creeped out from the room he was in when moments later something terrifying happened as a climax to this fear. It was 4 a.m. on a Tuesday night in Minneapolis, and the room he was staying in was the last place you'd expect something paranormal to occur in. Despite having the structure of the back rooms, nothing had ever been reported there, and Josiah was hoping that the same would be reality for him. He was wrong.
I'm about to go lay back down, and I'm gonna hope to God that nothing fucking does any weird shit, because I feel like there's weird shit right there. But at the same time, it could be friendly. Oh God, now look at me. I'm starting to sound like a fucking weirdo. Okay. Do you see that? What?
A weird object flew off the door, and Josiah was left startled by this unexpected event. It flew so quickly out of nowhere and acted as a climax to the night of spine tingling he had already been feeling. He always knew there was something wrong with the place, and now he had enough evidence to leave with a refund. On July 7th of 2023, Mia was trying to get some rest after a long day of work. She had struggled all day with an overly demanding schedule and a boss who wouldn't cut her any slack if she made mistakes. She was in the process of leaving the job, but that turned out to take longer than expected. As if all of that wasn't enough, she gave birth to a son of whom she loved to infinity and beyond. She had him for 7 months and was so excited to see him grow up. However, due to private circumstances, he passed away. Could the upcoming clip be a knock-on effect of this? Let me know in the comments.
I should have moved me in here. And yes, my fan is on. That's why you see it blowing. But what the hell is that? Why is it wrinkling like that? Like somebody's pushing it. And that looked like a face.
Tomorrow we need to...
Now, the fact that the curtain was moving was extremely normal, considering the fan was aiming right at it. However, the pushing against it from the other side was not something you'd expect to see, and fortunately, Mia picked up on it. She got up and approached the curtain, attempting to reveal who was behind it. To her dismay, she found no one. Restaurants are places that you'd expect to see bustling with life, from the stressed-out staff to the romantic dates, all the way to a family creating all the noise. These places are usually full of people. However, when it gets late at night and way past dinner time, the restaurants stop getting customers and typically shut down for the night. Someone is always selected to close the restaurant, and this is a pretty standard job. Lock a few doors, flick some switches, and call it a night. The man who was assigned the role in this video definitely wished that this was the case for him. For some peculiar reason, once the man set up the mandatory camera and left the room, the chairs started to move on their own accord. This was very creepy for him, considering he was the only person in the building, but he was brave and went back to fix the positioning of the chairs. Once he finished that, he left the room again, hoping that whatever happened wouldn't repeat. Perhaps he hoped for more than he could get. Just like the last segment, the chairs magically moved themselves due to poltergeist activity and left the innocent employee terrified. This clip was the only aspect we saw, so no more information can be given. Scuba diving is a worldwide activity feared by most and enjoyed by the minority. It involves going into the sea with safety equipment and looking at the beautiful things that it has to offer, alongside the predators that roam there. And if a human got into a fight with one of them, it is safe to say that the creature would have a competitive advantage. In the video you're about to see, a young woman was ticking off her bucket list by diving in a shallow part of the sea. She was quite terrified of the potential threats down there, including sharks and jellyfish, but little did she know that they would be the utmost least of her concerns. Weirdly, the sound of a human screaming could be heard whilst she was in a cave, and this was completely unexplainable by logic. Since humans can't breathe underwater, it made no sense that one could open their mouth and scream. As well as this, since water is so dense, it definitely wouldn't have been that loud, leaving this scenario very open for interpretation in the comment section. After coming back to the surface, the lady asked her mother if she had heard the screams, and she replied, no, meaning that whatever it was must have been making the noise underwater. Fortunately, the woman was brave and decided to take a second dive, with much less promising results. This time, not a single sound could be heard barring the noises of distant wails, etc. No one can give a definite answer for this clip to this day. The following piece of footage was captured in an unshared location and is one of the eeriest videos documented on this channel. Watching it for the first time gave me goosebumps, and I'm sure it will do the same to you. It was filmed as part of a haunted exploration video for a channel on YouTube, and the clip I'm going to show you now was the most disturbing thing that they captured on their adventure into the unknown. Have a look.
What the was that? We'll check what that is, because something out there. What the fuck was that? Hello? Fuck, this place is weird, man. It's a really loud noise, but... That's creepy, mate, like that. Guys.
At first glance, it was actually quite difficult to decipher what happened here, but after scanning the comments, I noticed something very off. At the timestamp of 23 minutes and 15 seconds, a dark shadow figure could be seen in the doorway, and somehow the YouTuber didn't notice it was there until editing everything together. I guess you could say he was lucky, because if he did see it, you'd bet he would have turned around and ran away. The voice of someone's loved one is supposed to bring comfort and warmth to them. This is why people find love in the first place. In certain scenarios, though, the last thing you want to hear is your boyfriend/girlfriend, though, and the video that is next up portrays this weird feeling. It was recorded when the time was approaching the evening and Michaela was preparing dinner for her boyfriend's arrival. Unfortunately, he arrived home way before schedule, and she thought he would have to wait. At least she thought he arrived.
Making some chorizo for the hubby. Gotta make some extra this morning. Said he's gonna bring over his friend. Babe, are you home? What the heck? The door's still locked. The door's not even open. Okay, anyways, I don't know what that was. I'm hearing things going crazy. Almost done chopping up these potatoes. somebody playing a prank on me? Did you hear that? Babe, are you home?
Michaela could hear the voice of her boyfriend and a series of footsteps, which was weird, considering the doors were still locked. As well as this, she decided to call his cell phone to see if that resulted in a response, and it did, but not the ideal one. He told her he was still at work and would be setting off back home in 20 minutes. It wasn't him in the house. The next day, Michaela decided to try and put the event behind her and act like nothing happened. She thought that surely it was a one-time thing and nothing like this would slap her again. She was wrong. At the same time as the day prior, she was making dinner again when the spirit made a second appearance in the house.
I always have mashed potatoes for days. I always make way too many. As I'm saying that, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't make as many.
Somehow, the cabinet door launched open without anyone else in there, confirming the presence of a paranormal entity. Was this Michaela going crazy, or was she genuinely suffering a haunting? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Security cameras are useful for various different reasons, and in the following video, the woman involved must have been very pleased that she decided to install them. It was a normal Sunday morning, and she was pouring out some Cheerios like she did every day of the week when this habit was interrupted by the voice of a supposed loved one.
Jackie? Hi. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my room.
As you could clearly hear, once the woman stood up to face the direction of the noise, she addressed it as Jackie, showing that she thought the voice was of someone she knew. If this was the case, then the encounter must have been with a mimic, which can be very dangerous in their own right. The following video was captured using the CCTV at a daycare and caught a very strange event unfolding. Usually when ghosts decide to haunt someone, they will move things and make noises to torment their victims. But they never become physical or break anything of value, at least not for most people. In the spine-tingling content you're about to see, a group of children were in the playroom being monitored by the security guard when they zoomed into something surprisingly weird. Take a look.
John, how is it doing that? John, how is it doing that? But wait, John, it's about to break on its own. It's gonna break on its own.
You have to watch it until it breaks. That's when I start crying.
Watch, John. Are you watching this thing? Yeah. It's not moving. No. Oh, in there. No, watch. Watch, John. Watch.
That hurts so bad.
Nobody listens to me. There's ghosts in here. Nobody listens to me.
Watch.
It's about to go crazy and break.
It's still moving, y'all. It's still moving.
It's still moving!
If it floats in the air and goes for the child, you'll freak out.
And then it just moves. It's so good. Just chill out. Chill out.
My hand's shaking. I can't.
It's like this or like this. It's not like
Poor Brooke, get in the path of the demon.
She's like, maybe I should put my feet on the table.
I feel like I need to be away from this screen.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
We're just calling this stuff out loud. This is we need to make it. Don't worry, get a bit. We should just send to the scary 100 people.
Nobody listens to me. There's ghosts in this building, and nobody listens to me. I don't know if it's demons. I don't know if it's ghosts, but there is something in this building.
Because I'm telling you, like we've seen, like 8 years, stuff had just disappeared.
Somehow, the queue started moving by itself and eventually smacked the table, which broke it into 2 pieces. For some reason, the children were not fazed by this, but the adults most definitely were. If you can come up with any logical reason for this happening, then let me know in the comments, but I'm certain it was the act of a spirit. Hamza was a young freelancer who was paid to go on ghost hunting missions, specifically ones who wanted them erased rather than detected. He had spent 13 years researching spirits and was a strong believer that he knew how to deal with them effectively. This is why so many people chose to pay him to do so. However, some spirits are much different than others, and perhaps Hamza had no experience with the type he was about to encounter because he handled it very poorly.
Uy, no mames, ¿qué fue eso?
¿Hay alguien?
¿Qué fue eso, amigos? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? Uy, alguien corre, alguien corre, alguien corre. Alguien está corriendo.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Miren, aquí hay puertas, como que alguien quitó la puerta.
¿Hay alguien aquí?
Uy, 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 se acaba de mover esto, amigos.
In case you didn't know, one of the worst ways a human can react to a ghost moving something is with fear, because all that does is empower the creature even more. Spirits, especially demons, feed off the fear of their victims, and Hamza fed it exactly what it wanted, hence why the next event happened.
Amigos, se acaba de mover esto. Y esto se movió.
¿En dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Queremos verte.
Se acaba de mover esto. Uy, 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 uy. Uy, uy, uy. Uy, uy. Ahí está caminando, amigos. Ahí está caminando, ahí está caminando. Ahí está caminando.
¿Hay alguien?
Uy, me caigo.
¿Hay alguien aquí? Si estás aquí, quiero que te manifiestes.
Uy, ¿qué fue eso? ¿Qué es eso?
Again, he made his inner fear very apparent here, and no wonder the mission came out as a failure, and he didn't make any money from it. It was a very odd experience for Hamza, because he never got afraid of paranormal activity, but he kept reminding himself that maybe this creature was demonic, and that was a step too far. Some of the videos that you see on this channel can come off as so unbelievable that even I can't convince you otherwise. In the next clip, this may be the case at the start, but one segment changes everything. It was filmed on January 12th of 2017 and featured a bouncy ball in the decoration of a basketball. It's safe to say that something was wrong with it, and you are about to find out what.
Ahora también se hizo basquetbolista, ¿viste? Ahora también se hizo basquetbolista. Creo que biencito se ve. Anda esa que está moviendo. Anda esa que está moviendo, tío. No se sabe quién es. Mira, mira. Qué lo parió, ¿eh?
At first, the video seemed like a normal one. Balls are spherical, so of course they were going to roll around if placed onto a black tabletop. However, the way in which they did so was very unnatural. First of all, it constantly stopped and restarted, which shouldn't be possible. When the ball came to a complete standstill, a force must have been applied to make it move in a given direction again. On top of this, it started spinning in circles, which again shouldn't have been possible without the interference of another force. Was that force a spirit? Most definitely yes. This doctor had just finished prescribing one of his patients when he managed to secure an extra 30-minute break for being way ahead of schedule. He decided that instead of utilizing his break to the maximum though, he would use it to help some of the other doctors around the clinic by taking items to them and general help along those lines. No wonder he was awarded Employee of the Month so frequently. On this specific day though, I bet he regretted his kind actions because despite being a star for his peers, he put himself at the risk of a paranormal attack. Weirdly, a ton of items started collapsing around him, and his transportation tray moved by its own accord. This freaked the poor doctor out, and he quickly went to report the situation to the office, who reassured him they would look into it as he was such a valuable member of staff. We got no extra updates after this point. The paranormal team is a global group who investigate paranormal activity around the world. The group you're about to spectate on their journey was located in the United Kingdom and were posting content different from usual. The typical post on their YouTube channel would be the exploration of a famous haunted place, such as abandoned buildings and hospitals. However, in the one you are about to see, it was filmed in one of their friends' homes. Dave and Jen were a couple who were convinced that they had been experiencing paranormal activity over the past few months, and they were fortunate to have been friends with the Northern Paranormal team of the UK. On the other hand though, they were unfortunate with what the team discovered.
Hi gang, we're at Jed and Dave's house doing another investigation because things have been seen here last year when we was up here. It was quite creepy, so we're just going to do another investigation now, a little one. See what we can find.
We're using the night vision camera on the SLS, so that's why they're stood behind me, because we don't want to keep mapping them.
Exactly.
We want to see what we can map ourselves.
Just have a look around the room, Dave, you never know. We caught some orbs in here last time I was up here.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some orbs now.
Yeah. You never know.
We're back.
It's stuck on two of the K2 meter.
K2, what was
yeah,
that?
we've got Jed behind us doing the K2 and he's got a couple of lights on it, you know, so we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, all we can do is just keep
Yeah,
going
so
past
we're
and see. Whoa!
What the hell? Did I just see something or am I imagining that?
I don't know, let's go.
What the hell? I don't know. It was, to me it looked like a face. Dave?
I thought I saw something.
That was really quick,
That was
really
like that.
spooky.
That was.
I don't know, it seemed like a face, but I could be wrong, I won't say for definite.
What face?
Yeah.
It seemed like one, yeah?
Oh, don't talk bollocks. See the face?
I don't know, we'll have to look back on the video.
We'll have to review it, but that was really weird.
I thought I saw something.
Peering around the door.
Peering, yeah, peering on the door.
Well, this is stuck on two.
I know we've got a towel here.
Yeah, this is stuck on two. The door.
But we've got a towel. Could it be that?
Well, no, because it never moved. It come out from like a peekaboo and then went.
I wasn't looking. I just saw it at the corner of my eye and I went back and I didn't see anything.
You're scared because something scared you because you look back. You thought you'd seen something.
Let's go check the kitchen.
Oh my God, what a house. Anyway,
To the kitchen. Yeah, house. I got to fucking sleep here tonight, mate.
Wow. God bless you.
Well, the good thing is he's not picking up any like stick thingies, so we can use the actual, night vision. That's weird. We're gonna have to look back on that. I'm gonna have to look back on that.
Definitely have to review that footage. That was insane.
Quick check. Yeah, we know it's a towel.
Towel can't move.
Yeah, we were in here. We were doing a quick zoom around. Check. Yeah, it's when I went past the door there. I know you. But yeah, I'm out.
This is stuck on 2, this. It's glitching to 3, you know.
I'm wondering if it's a towel. It has to be the towel.
The towel can't move on its own unless we
We're going to have to look back. We're going to have to look back, guys.
Right, well,
We're going to have to look back.
Come back later.
Right, so we'll come back later. I'll go back on the footage now. So I'm going to end the recording now. All right. Cheers.
If you look closely at the timestamp of 51 seconds, the face of a ghost could be seen peeking round the door, and this was solid evidence that the house was haunted. At first, the group weren't certain that this was the case, and blamed all sorts of factors, including the carpet. Regardless, once they reviewed the footage, they knew exactly what the deal was. Jen and Dave were far from safe. They moved out of their house the next month. In the following video, the man on the bottom is doing some simple Omegle trolling, like all people on the platform do. He got paired with 2 men from the same country as him, which was a relief due to how many English speakers used the platform. Little did they know that this pairing would document one of the weirdest captures ever on the website. In the beginning, the man at the bottom was telling the duo their names and address, and he somehow got both the answers right, which surprised the duo. It was what that happened moments later in the video that terrified everyone present in that Omegle call.
Hola. Hola.
Hola muchachos, ¿cómo andan? Para, yo a ustedes los conozco.
Pues a Argentina no hemos ido, ¿eh? Así que no...
Sí, yo los conozco. ¿Vos no te llamas Javi? ¿Y vos sos Juan o no? ¿Son de España o no?
Mi nombre lo pone ahí, que es mi cuarto, pero...
¿Son de España o no? ¿De Madrid?
Sí. Sí.
Sí, yo que ustedes no lo
Pero puedes gastar la IP.
crean.
¿Tienes nuestra IP? ¿Eres de esos que buscan la IP y esas cosas? ¿Qué hace? Por este pago, bueno.
Chicos, ¿les puedo hacer una consulta? ¿Ustedes qué estaban haciendo en su casa?
Pues nada.
Esperar, que ahora vamos a salir de fiesta.
Estoy solo en casa y le he invitado.
¿Solo?
Sí, solo.
El gato.
Bueno, con él.
El gato que está abajo.
No puede ser, chicos. Yo vi que esa puerta que está enfrente se movió.
¿Cuál esta? ¿La de Javi?
Sí. Yo vi... No. Yo vi que la puerta que está enfrente suyo se movió.
Esa de ahí, nada.
Les juro que vi que esa puerta se movió.
No, mira.
Mira, nos está vacilando,
No, chicos, no. Yo lo vi con mis propios ojos. Yo vi que esa puerta de manera lenta se abrió y luego se cerró bruscamente, chicos.
Nos intenta meter miedo, ¿eh?
No les estoy mintiendo ni por mucho menos, por favor. Yo les juro que por mis ojos y por lo que más tengo en mi vida que esa puerta se movió.
Imposible, no hay nada. Así que, y mi gato está abajo, es imposible que se mueva nada. Nos está vacilando. Literalmente es el típico...
Se ha quedado pillado.
¿Qué le pasa?
Atrás suyo hay alguien.
¿Cómo que atrás? ¡Me cago en la puta!
The strangest part of this entire sequence was that despite being stared at by the men, the spirit still stood there strongly, leading me to believe it was on the demonic side of ghosts. Looking the ghost face to face in the eyes sparked so much fear into the duo that they immediately skipped, hoping that the entire thing was some crazy plot from the dude in the headphones. It wasn't. Due to no updates or no information on them, we have no idea what happened in the next chapter of this story. Spirits are known for their unique abilities to go undetected in homes, and the one you're about to see almost mastered that ability. It invaded the home of university student James's aunt, who fortunately had a nanny cam set up in her bedroom. She did this as she was getting fairly old and wanted a way for people to check up on her, but it wouldn't be her that the family ended up concerned about. On a random Tuesday, James decided to check the camera to see how she was doing, but was greeted with a much less familiar face. Take a look.
I don't know if I'm seeing shit or tripping, but check this out. So this is my aunt's son's room, right? There's no one in here, right? Nothing. Closet. Nothing. Got a nanny camera in here. Alright, now tell me, right on the monitor here, tell me that doesn't look like someone standing in the room. Like I've checked, like went back and forth 3 times, and So, okay, nothing, right? Like, what the fuck? I do not want to go back in there. I have an idea. Put this, like, right here. And put this right here. Alright. Okay, I saw a ball in the other room. I'm gonna go grab it. Okay. Make sure it's clear. Alright, let's see how this goes. Okay, alright. Fuck, there is definitely something in there.
If that whole story wasn't enough to freak you out, I have no idea what would do the trick. The fact that even while standing in the doorway he couldn't see the ghost, but the camera still detected it at the exact same time must have been a very spooky situation to be in, and he advised that his auntie took up his room and he'd sleep on the couch. They locked the door, and the ghost still stands there to this day, waiting for its day to be released once again. Geometry Dash is a huge game, and many YouTube videos related to it are uploaded every single day. One of the YouTubers in the Geodash scene is called Fanksy, and he comes from Italy, offering the content to the Italian speakers who enjoy the game, a very smart way to tap into a competitive market. His subscribers wait for new videos every week, covering all aspects of the game, but on a random day in July, they got something far from that. They received a paranormal documentation. To set the scene, Fanksy had been experiencing paranormal activity for a few weeks prior to the video, and decided the best option was to keep it private. He believed that even if he did upload some of it to his huge platform of fans, he would be called a faker and tarnish his reputation, something no YouTuber would want to do. Fortunately though, this did not happen.
Bene, ma direi che possiamo passare al prossimo livello di Damor, Fengsi 3. Proviamo ragazzi, sono curioso di vedere quello che accadrà. Dobbiamo scaricare la canzone. Ok ragazzi, fermi un secondo. Ho sentito un rumore fortissimo, ma io sono a casa da solo. Spero sia il vento, ma non credo, visto che io chiudo sempre tutto, perché altrimenti ci sarebbero casini mentre registro. No, non è possibile. Ragazzi! No, adesso vi devo far vedere. No, vi giuro, raga, non è possibile. Allora, ragazzi, sono andato a controllare cosa potesse essere il rumore. Stiamo un attimo calmi. C'è la luce del bagno accesa. Vi giuro, io sono a casa da solo, non so se lo potete vedere. Stavo registrando, ho sentito il rumore della porta chiudersi e c'è la luce accesa. Raga, non sto scherzando. Allora, entro. Raga, sto tremando, vi giuro. Allora, come potete vedere, non c'è assolutamente nessuno.
Somehow the bathroom door opened and slammed itself closed mid-recording, and Fanksy spent a good 1 minute emphasizing that he was the only one in the house. As well as this, he always asked Alexa to turn all the lights off when he was recording, and for some reason the bathroom one was on. Was this a technical error or something much, much worse? After investigating, he came to the conclusion that the cause of the door closing was the wind, and the reason for the light being on was an issue with his Alexa device. Both of these theories were false, but he didn't know that and decided to continue his recording.
Ok ragazzi, rieccoci. Non so cosa sia successo, all'improvviso la porta del bagno si è chiusa. Ah! Ragazzi, no vabbè, giuro adesso mi sto cagando in mano, però veramente. Raga, sto tremando, sta succedendo qualcosa di strano e non sto scherzando. Ragazzi, la porta l'avevo chiusa. Raga, si poteva vedere prima che ho chiuso la porta quando sono entrato. No raga, vi giuro. Che cavolo sta succedendo? Cioè, ha sbattuto a caso, ma poi con quale violenza? No ragazzi, dai, ma non scherziamo. Ragazzi, c'è la luce accesa di qua. Ragazzi, era spenta prima, l'avete potuto vedere. Sono passato da qua ed era tutto spento.
Strangely, just moments after hitting the continue button on his Streamlabs, the door to his bedroom slammed in an aggressive manner, and this frightened him into screaming. What made things even worse was that it opened itself again afterwards, which should be completely impossible. Possibilities that can only be denied by the paranormal entities of the world. After seeing this, Fanksy knew that the spirit had made a return on camera and decided to set up some CCTV in the corner of the room. This way he would feel safe as he slept, and sleep he did. He stopped the recording as he was too shaken to act and called it a night. The Cortez family were one of the most normal groups of people you could ever imagine. Nothing interesting ever happened in their life other than the odd outing, so they would be the last family you'd expect to see featured on this channel. In the following video, the father of the family was staying up late at night to do some work, when all of a sudden he felt something very off that he couldn't describe. In response to this, he decided to go and investigate downstairs, and what happened was unbelievable. It's important to note that the family was indeed religious and had a wall widespread with crosses for that reason. Whatever caused the following to happen likely hated that fact.
Vamos a ver qué sucede porque esto está muy cabrón. Ya todos están dormidos, a ver. No mames. Es una lámpara que tengo aquí. Se está moviendo bien cabrón. Están las cruces. Chinga. Vamos a ver qué sucede porque esto está muy cabrón. Ya todos están dormidos, a ver. No mames. Es una lámpara que tengo aquí. Se está moviendo bien cabrón. Están las cruces.
Strangely, something from the cross display collapsed to the ground without warning, and nobody was there who could have triggered this to happen. Considering this was the act of a spirit and it decided to tamper with a wall of religious art, it led the Cortez family to believe that they were being visited by a demon, but they never got any more evidence after that. Now, in a recent video on the channel, we delved into an adventure by Kareem, who somehow found himself in a terrible situation. To summarize, he had become lost and found himself at an abandoned building where he was continuously being led to this little girl's room. During his time inside this room, he had seen some very disturbing things, but none were quite bad enough to make him turn around and try to escape. He was given enough warnings. It was time to give Kareem the fright of his life.
Otra vez ruido en la pieza de mi hija. Podrido de los sonidos, los ruidos. Paren un poco, viejo. ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué es eso? Las conchas. Yo había apagado la luz ahí. Oh, esto me da muchísimo miedo.
The worst part about that piece of footage was most definitely the noises that the ghost was making. It was whimpering like a little girl, and like we debunked in the last video, this made perfect sense. All around the room were boxes with the name Rebecca on them, which made it very obvious that it used to be the room of a little girl. Perhaps the ghost haunting Kareem in this specific moment was that girl, but that's just a theory. After experiencing this, Kareem decided to take a step back and have a breather before he entered the building one last time. He wanted to gather as much evidence as possible about the place, and fortunately, he managed to get a tiny bit more clip.
Estoy solo en mi casa y pasa esto. Si tienes miedo no lo mires, al final algo intenta atacarme.
After plucking up the courage to re-enter the building, Kareem was greeted by much more demented sounds. Last time he could compare the sounds to something, but this time around they were indescribable, almost like they came from a mythical creature of some sort. Understandably, this was enough to send Kareem running to safety, and he eventually came across a main road. He held his hand out until someone pulled over, and he asked them to call his friend to come and pick him up. Luckily, he did. Kareem will never walk in that same direction again. Who knows what the spirit would do to him next time. Dogs, as well as cats, are known for having a sense that humans don't have, the sense to visualize beings from the paranormal world. There are countless videos on the internet of families, cute little pets, barking at absolute nothingness for hours on end, and even staring at seemingly walls. A lot of people believe that this is simply an act of boredom and an attempt to keep themselves entertained, but that's just foolish. It's spirits, and if the following video doesn't convince you, then I don't know what will.
That was hella weird.
There's literally no way that door just opened by itself. Y'all, like, I really don't get freaked out, but that was really just... That door has a keypad lock on it. Like, and it's actually hard to get in. Dutch, where are you going? Don't leave me. There's like... What? Why did you just jump like that? Why did... Baby! Y'all, do you see her? What the fuck is going on?
For some strange reason, the dog started barking behind the door, and it looked very stiff. When a dog is stiff, it usually means that it is worried or frightened by something, and whatever was behind the door was likely the cause for this. What worried me was the fact that the poor dog was looking so high up. Whatever that thing was, it must have been massive, and the woman would be insane to not call up the local priest for the job. Let me know what you think about this scenario in the comments, but trust me, I am more than certain that something spiritual was enjoying her garden. CCTV is one of the best installments that someone can install into their home because they are so useful at deterring crime. They can help people look back at footage and see exactly what happened as many times as they would like to, which is huge in catching criminals in the act. However, in the upcoming clip, the woman decided to do this in order to try and find out who caused this phenomenon to happen. To her dismay, this is what she found on the camera. Literally no one. Somehow the curtain moved by its own accord, and the faint whisper of the words, "Get out," echoed next to the camera. This was most definitely the act of something from the paranormal world, but the lady who got spooked by it wasn't able to accept that this was the case. She hired people to dig through everything and try to find any trace of someone or something being there with her that night. But no matter how much money she splashed on these companies, none of them came back with any turnaround. She spent upwards of $300 before finally giving up on the search and deeming herself as crazy. Despite all of that, she still doesn't believe in ghosts. This security guard called Shane was working a night shift at the hospital when one of, if not the creepiest things of his life, happened there and then. According to Shane, the wheelchair in the corridor started periodically spinning at around 2 a.m. and had been for a few weeks. However, no one else on the staff team believed that this story was true. On this fateful night, he took it upon himself to capture the drama unfold and truly prove that he wasn't going crazy, and prove he did, because after this video, no one could deny him.
See, I fucking don't. No.
As if this piece of content wasn't already unsettling enough, that was the wheelchair ridden by an ex-patient called Sheila, who sadly passed away a few weeks prior. And remember what Shane said about the wheelchair moving, starting at around that time. Regardless of a ghost haunting their corridors, the staff get on with their day-to-day tasks, and it became tradition to say hi to Sheila once you walked past the corridor. They did their best to save her, and it was very saddening to see her death. On the other hand, refreshing to know that she was still living the life. On October 12th of 2017, a Spanish man by the name of Andre was home alone in the living room when he managed to accidentally get something on his camera. He was recording a funny Snapchat for his group chat of friends when suddenly the topic of the video took a huge drift for the worst. Andre described after this event that he would never go near his rhino ornament ever again, and after taking a look, you won't hesitate to agree with his decision, so go on.
Amigos, son a 1:26 de la madrugada y estoy solo, ya van 3 veces que me tocan la puerta a mi casa y relativamente pues yo estoy solo, pero pues la verdad es que sí me da miedo. La neta no sé ni qué onda en mi casa y pues sí me da un chingo de miedo. Les juro. No mames, vete a la verga. No mames, no mames. Vete a la verga. No, neta, vete a la verga. Se acaba de caer esta madre. No mames. No mames.
What made this rather odd was the fact that the rhino landed perfectly and didn't shatter in the slightest. It was a very fragile piece of art, and the seller warned the family to be careful with it. It made absolutely zero sense that it managed to fall from such a height without even a single chip. The leading theory to explain this is that the ghost behind the event quickly placed the rhino on the ground so that no real gravitic potential energy was built up, hence why it didn't lash out when it hit the floor and exploded. It was a close call for the ornament regardless. It was on an online selling website just hours later. In the following video, a woman is sitting in the living room watching her hyper-realistic human dummy that her ex purchased for her. She was in the process of selling it because of how weird it actually was. However, I don't think the dummy was too fond of that idea.
This thing just moved.
Boy, all the talking head would have been screaming about the Dallas Cowboys and Stephen Fork in this organization. So again, kudos to the Cowboys going on the road, getting a good win. Let's see how they win that moving forward.
There's a saying in golf, there's no pictures on the scorecard. If you're down, you don't care if it's by 5 or it's going to be like, you're just happy that you moved to 2 or 2. The injury to Parsons, and we don't know anything at this point, he just left by a car without a shoe off. How do you assess what that man needs to do? The defense is struggling, but it clearly got better if he's on the field.
That would be, if he's missing any significant time out of it, he's that better. He's a better player.
Oh my God. The door just moved.
33
propels 100 affordable housing laws, including many
early on, much more involved, particularly
the safety over the top, and you'll see right down here. A free personal Suzuki dessert, an entree plus 3 desserts. just $13. That's a sweet deal. Sure, elaborate. We weren't able to take the fuel away. There were losses involved.
Are you real? You can do it again. I won't watch.
Strangely, the dummy's hand moved by its own accord, indicating the possession of the toy. The woman claimed that this wasn't a first-timer, and it had done stuff like this in the past. Very creepy.